I just want to bring it back a little bit. I just want us to think about, when we think about marginalized people, right? We're not marginalized, one. We're not broken, we're not minorities. We're full people, we're land people, right? So I want you to think of us as in dance and rituals, laughing, being mad at each other, growing. You know, I don't want you to think of us as hurt people, even though we hurt. I want us to, you get me? All right. Yeah. Okay, so we come from Crystal House. Crystal House is a housing cooperative. So what does that mean? We mean that housing is a human right. Not just a human right, it's ours, it's our land. So what we do at Crystal House, it's a very magical place. We focus on solidarity economics. Can someone tell me what solidarity economics mean? It's okay, you can have an idea of it, anything. So solidarity economics. Okay.
Just sharing all the resources.
Okay. Can you elaborate a little bit with this resource?
Sharing housing spaces, food resources, income, childcare,
Exactly.
healthcare, sharing herbs and medicinal knowledge.
Yep, so exactly. So that's exactly what we do. We share everything with each other. We care about each other. When someone leaves something dirty, we clean it for them, right? Are you willing to clean someone else's dirt? Are you willing to clean up their pee when, are you willing to pick up their socks when they leave it, right? Are you willing to wash their dishes? And I think we have to just bring it back. How much do we respect each other? And that's the basis of why we're here. Do we respect each other enough to offer water, to offer clothing, to offer a house, to offer money, to offer anything that we can give? So I just want you to remind you, every time you go outside, where do you spend your money? Who will you spend your words with? What are you saying? What are you putting on social media? Literally every single thing. It's difficult, it's hard. But think about being black. You get me? So, okay.
Peace, y'all. This is for the Oompa Loompas. All right, that's me. All right. My name is Isaiah. I'm with Crystal House. We going on top of the dome, on top of our head. I think the number one thing, and the reason I'm trying to look at the last 3 days, right, and bring it to you in a conversation, right, because this is a moment, this is just a place that we're having this conversation, but this is a daily conversation for us, right? This is about our survival. This is about our survival. This is about us living and thriving in our communities that are being targeted with militarization. I grew up in that, I grew up here in New York City. Captured a couple of times, was captured a colonial in Rikers and all that good stuff. And so I want to start off this by, I got a 12-year-old son, y'all. He's a young man growing up here in New York City. When I'm standing in this institution, I'm thinking about how this institution serves our communities, right? Is it going to contribute to the healing of our communities, or is it going to contribute to the traumatizing of our communities, right? When we're talking about solidarity economics, that's what we're talking about, right? That relationship, right, that we have with one another, with each other, with the institutions that are in our community, and not only that, but then with the systems in our community, right? How do we have that? Are they coming to heal, or are they coming to traumatize, right? Who do they serve? What do they serve? What is in their interest, right? $12 billion this mayor wants to dedicate to expanding on prisons.
Talk about it.
Think about that. I grew up here in New York City. 3rd grade, they're determining how many prison beds they're going to construct based on 3rd graders' reading levels. Now, I know folks don't want me to act my cheeks and start taking off my shirt. But you're targeting our 3rd graders. You're making plans for prison beds. And then while they're making plans for prison beds, right, all of us here are increased in their surveillance state. And we sleeping on that, right? Monitoring our algorithms, suggesting to our algorithms, right? Creating more of an automated system of prisons, right? Because don't think we're separate from it, Look at your retirement funds, look at your 401ks. They're all invested in systems that actually target our communities to be destroyed, right? Or to be maintained in a certain way and kept in place. So again, I'm trying to get this conversation in the last 3 days that we had in my head because I'm thinking about my son. My son just walked into and has been walking in the prison pipeline. And this is what I'm navigating. I'm navigating that with neo-colonials. Brown and black folks that look just like me but think in a white supremacist, patriarchal, heteronormative way. And I'm trying to break it down for them. Right? Yes. And then I got to break it down for the white folks that are there that are trying to be supportive and just like, oh, you know, I just want to make sure that your kid has a good education. No, you're not there. You're making sure that you can cancel your debt from your student loans. Right? Because you're not staying in our community. You're not staying in our community. And so I'm thinking about why I'm standing here and how we're looking at these museums and these universities in the city and how this land functions. Right now, where Chanel's feet are, where your feet are right now, like, yo, this is holy ground. This is ancestral land. And when I say it's ancestral land, I'm not talking about something that lived in the past. Our ancestors are living and breathing with us. Right here, right now, talking to us. My ancestor right now wants to rip off my shirt and bust down these cameras and bust down these fucking doors. But I gotta maintain. I gotta make calm. Not for the sake of our peace, just so that way my son and the children that he's growing up with still have a peace. You understand? This is our land. We've been displaced. I don't care how you identify as black and brown, how you want to talk about, we are the original people, we are the lost tribes. We have to reclaim the land. When we reclaim the land, we reclaim our minds, we reclaim our souls, we reclaim our bodies. And we will not be used in their system as prison labor or as a commodity for services so that way we can service our own oppression. Because I can't do trauma-informed trauma-informed development or making sure there's less trauma if I'm not changing the conditions that the trauma is being created in. And this is what we're talking about with the institutions, and I'm so glad we got Kanders out of the way. Fuck Kanders. Yeah. Fuck Blasio. Right? Yo, fuck his whole class of people. Because they're not understanding. Their wealth is generated off our backs. Their wealth is generated based off of our enslavement. Not only our physical enslavement, but our mental enslavement. Right? Why is it we have a whole service industry of nonprofits only servicing and maintaining the oppression in our community and not trying to end this? Or retransform the land so that way the people who are on the land right now can utilize it for their own interest. So this is why we started Crystal House, right? So that way you could see that you are the developers. We use self-determination. Reclaim that land. Reclaim that connection to the land. Reclaim that healing that goes to that land. And you're a part of this too. Your ancestors, living and breathing. And all we got to do is reclaim. We could hold our own. I'm not too worried about climate change. I am the climate. I'm in touch with the elementals. I'm fire, I'm water, I'm wind. My ancestors already told me. I could be the tornadoes. I have no problem with that. I just got to make sure the land is being utilized for our children. And I got to respect our ancestors. These cats that are in power right now, they're not respecting that. And they've never respected. Let's just get real, right? Because if we're going to start talking about the drug war, let's talk about the real drug war. The drug war started in 1492. Plain and simple. When they demonized our spirituality. When they demonized the healers in our community and the medicines in our community. And then appropriated those medicines. Let's talk about the real drug war and how it's continued. What we're looking at is a moment of something that's long and continued. We're not talking about gentrification. We're talking about Columbus coming back here again. This economy is based off a snake eating its own tail. Someone in capitalism got to get it. Who's it going to be? Let's not be here. Not me, not me, not me. It's a system. It's dying. It's cool. It's not the end of the world. It's not the apocalypse. Other systems spring up. But they make you hold on to this fear like it's the only thing. There's nothing to be fearful of. Systems come and go. But how we treat each other, that's what we're going to remember. This is the economy. This is the commerce. This is the solidarity. Not charity, I'm here to help you. No, motherfucker, you here to save yourself, because if anything, I got the knife behind my back and I can slit your throat. I make it simple. Make it simple. Run your shit. You know what I'm saying? Open the doors to your house. Utilize your wealth for solidarity. Don't utilize your wealth for charity. Oh, I gave last week. Fuck that. You give every fucking day. Your card as an ally expires at 12 o'clock every day. Including myself. Including myself. I recognize a lot of my privileges, and I recognize a lot of the human rights that people mix up as privileges. But I will speak. No Kanders or institutions that target us for violence and to suppress us is going to make us stop. Bless.